flexion.
No. It's only saying her head.
And then we just asked her to bend her knee, and then this would be soleus only. So I'm going to push her in the dorsiflexion, and I asked her to try to resist this.
Okay, so when you kind of say try to resist this, that's kind of looking more toward what a hold.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay, that's fine. No problem there. What do you think, guys? Good, bad? You like it? Don't like it?
I thought it was good. That was more of a question for you. Is there a better biomechanical way to get more force onto the soleus? Because I feel like some stronger patients will be able to push against your arm pretty easily.
Yeah, what do you guys think about that? Hey?
I was gonna say, like, to go on that, I feel like it would be more effective if you did this not manually and had the patient just use the force of the ground.
Sometimes you can do that, sometimes you can't. Okay. That's all right. Or,
Could you maybe have them like kind of like put a bolster under their knees to bend their legs? Because I feel like if you're having them bend up, if you're shorter, like I'm shorter, I might not be able to reach.
come on up and show us. Okay, I have a bolster.
Come on.
A little leverage.
Okay. Wrong button.
There's so many ways you can do it, though.
Just work as a bolster just for the time being. All right.
Bend if you're trying to isolate the soleus, just push. Relax.
What do you guys think? Like it?
Yeah.
It's a different patient position. Sometimes you can't go prone. Something you may have to consider. Okay? I'm still here, okay? Other things you might want to consider. What else can plantar flex, guys? It's not just the gastroc, not just the soleus. What else? Tibialis posterior. What else? All those long toe flexors as well, right? Okay? So, those guys are going way down into the foot. And that's where the resistance is, okay? And guess what happens? You give resistance to a certain part of the body recognizes that, and it will start to, activate those muscles, right? So, sometimes what people might do, and I'll say, in fact, interrupt at any point in time, if you want with this as well. I would see a lot of this when I used to work in the bedside situation. People who were sometimes in bed for long periods of time. They didn't want them to have, just one second. Here's Miriam laying in bed for weeks on end, okay? Oh, she's had some terrible problem, whatever it is. She's in bed like this. What do you notice about her feet?
Plantar flex.
Plantar flex, okay? Potential problem there? You bet. So you might do a lot of stretching of the heel cords there, so I'm going to put both feet up here again. And this might be something you want to consider. It's just considerations of hand placement. So I think Tori was just doing hands like this, okay? And I can't remember, it was, you were prone, right? And push, okay. So sometimes what we'd see happen is that people would turn around and say, okay, look, if I bend the knees like this, I take the gastroc out of the equation. I just want to get the soleus and go ahead with the knee flex. But you might see people do this and do it across the body. It's not the best body mechanics, but it gives you guys a bit of a picture. I can push against the sole of the foot with my forearm, okay? But in addition, watch I do with my hand here. I'm grabbing what bone down here? Calcaneus. Because why? The calcaneus, what inserts on it? Soleus, right? And that's what we want to stretch. So I might do something like this. Okay. I'll lean forward in this type of position here. You notice here? Oh, she says, and well, what am I doing in this case with my body mechanics then? I'm just using the weight of my body and gravity to kind of lean forward like this. And I can do it with the knee flexed, and I get more of the soleus. I'm also getting those long flexors that go down to the foot because my arm is as well, but I'm trying to also get my hand involved. Do you notice the difference when I just go, say for example, like this, as compared to this? Okay. What's the difference? Does it feel different location stretch? Where do you feel the difference?
So I feel like when you don't work it, it lets it drop almost like that. So it's like even almost like that.
Okay.
And then hold it. It just
Oh, well, that plays a little bit early. I'm starting to get a little more of a knee extension. Where did you notice the sensation of stretch any place differently? In the front? Well, I
Well, I
follow
guess,
that.
no, I guess for some reason it's flexing my interiors a lot.
Okay. Oh, you might be helping out a little bit. Okay. 'Cause sometimes people say they feel it lower in
that's
the area here.
interesting.
Rachel?
Just as a clinical perspective, usually stretching this, we don't even use our hands. We'll use our leg.
Yeah.
Can you show us?
Come on up and show. Okay, so why don't you go ahead and flip over here. This might be a situation you have as well. So go prone here. You're all the way off the table.
So it just makes it easier to stretch because you don't have to use, and then you can use your hands free to do like soft tissue work in there to help break up any adhesions around the Achilles. So what I'll do is have them push their foot into my thigh, that kind of position there, and then relax, and then stretch it more into dorsiflexion, and then push again, relax, push more. So now, hands free, I can work, mobilize the Achilles, I can do like my fascial stuff in the gastroc area, you know, anything like that, so you can kind of maximize what you're getting out of, you know, your treatment session there, and then you're obviously saving your hands the strain of trying to stretch somebody's foot, so it gets a little intense, and then obviously if you're going for trying to isolate more soleus, you can just like put a towel roll underneath there to get that little bit of knee flexion stabilized, and you can do the same thing, and then you should feel it a little lower.
Make sense, guys? Okay. And again, it's all going to be dependent on the patient. If the person can't go in a prone position, you have to come up with something else. But in this type of position, you can actually use your entire body weight and just start to transfer from, say, your back foot toward your front foot to push your thigh up against their limb as well. And flexing the knee by just bringing them into a little bit of knee flexion helps eliminate or downplay the contribution of that gastroc. Okay? Other things to point out.
Thank you.
Anything else? Mike, Brandon, anything? Feel free to throw something out there. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with what Debbie is being said, because if I was working more with an outpatient situation, I would actually try to get them prone as much as possible. But when I have to deal with inpatients, quite often if they've been in bed for a while, you don't have that luxury, so you have to kind of work with the supine situation and altering them as well. And people will often do that as well here, where they'll bend up here instead of pushing straight down. They also take the hand up underneath the Achilles as well and try to lift up. And they'll get that situation as well.
Keep it.
You feel that one the most? Thanks.
Oh, okay, I got it.
You know, you feel good.